Welcome, bienvenue, welcome. Hi everyone, welcome to this channel. If you're new, my name is Lynn. I'm this host of the channel, and in this very nice episode, I'm going to tell you about the drastic way my life has changed in the past year. If you're down for that, sit around, get yourself some good air conditioning, and some water. Because this heat, my god, is crazy. If you're down for that, let's get right into the video.
I am so happy to be sitting behind my mic again. I just had a throat infection, an angine, how you say in French. How do you say it in English? A throat infection, I suppose. Een keelontsteking in het Nederlands. You know, it's been tough out here. It's been a tough year for me. My body has been tested to a whole other level. And I feel like I've been postponing illness, so I recoup very fast, but it lays dormant for a few days. But because my immune system is getting pepped up every single day because I be working out, eating a lot of ginger, curcuma, lemon. I cut out alcohol. I'm not smoking anymore because it's very bad for my voice. And I'm actually learning to sing professionally. So, you gotta make choices in it. So, my lifestyle has really changed a lot this year in a good way. And I feel like, I also recoup very fast. So I got a throat infection like 2 days ago, but I'm already feeling a bit better. And you know what? I was sitting inside escaping the heat. Yes, because this heat wave has been not for the weak. Anyways, but that's not what we're here for. Hi, welcome. If you're new to this channel, if you hear some noise in the background, I'm gonna try to cut it out with the edit, but it's the fan. I'm so sorry. I already had to close the window for this video because there's a lot of cars passing in my street. So I'm gonna have to keep the fan on because it's way too hot. And it's not because I'm doing something fun that I have to suffer for it, right? Exactly. So, hi, my name is Lynn. If you're new to this channel, welcome, sit down. I'm going to take you on a ride because I have graduated last year. And most people go to work, and I was like, you know what? I'm not really ready for work. Also, I didn't really get the job that I wanted. So, it wasn't really a choice, but I'm very grateful things happen. And if you're not new on this channel, you already know that I believe that everything happens for the best. You already knew that I have a very inclination towards creativity and wanting to express myself as an artist. And well, I decided to pursue that dream full time through an institution and actually apply at the Royal Conservatory of Brussels. I did that last summer with no expectation because I didn't know people prepared for that for years. A big portion of my life, I was in ballet classes and I started singing classes again 2 years ago without knowing that it was possibly preparing me for this. So, yeah, I went to the auditions and this was something that I had never even dreamt of. This was not even a possibility in my books. I had never grown up with parents telling me to go to a school of arts. It was actually really demotivated I wanted to do it. I thought about it, but my parents were really pushing me towards a stable job, something that would earn a lot of money and to be wise. And, they wanted security for me, which I don't condemn them for that. I understand. And I'm very grateful that I have already my master's degree and that I got to develop in, more scientifical spaces and got to go to university because I do feel like it has helped me to grow a lot in my critical thinking, in my independence in thinking, which I find very, very interesting, and also to interact with several people, different people from all over the world, from different life paths, and that think in different ways, and also being able to grasp, social, economic, political field, landscape, cultural landscape, the business side of things as well. One of the first things they told us when I got into the school was be prepared to not have a job in this sector.
Huh?
Yes, very demotivating, but it's also very realistic. I think most people don't go in there expecting themselves to be the next world famous actor or star because the competition is high and you're surrounded by a lot of talented people. And A lot of it also has to do with luck and knowing the right people and being at the right spaces, having the right face, having the right background, and just being someone they look for. So, when it comes to the creative world or acting, or just performing arts, there's no guarantee, even if you're good, you have to be a little bit realistic in the fact that if you have a big dream, it might not pan out exactly the way you want. You might not always be able to support yourself financially because things happen and we go through seasons in our life where perhaps we won't be able to show up in the same way. So a lot of people also come there to be teachers, to really just follow their dream, but not necessarily expect themselves to be the next big star, which I also find interesting. And therefore, I'm very, very happy that I already got a backup plan, which is not even a backup plan, but also part of my plan A. But it gives a lot of reassurance and security, which helps you also to fully go into it without too much stress, too much headache, and really enjoy the time I have there and not really thinking about like, oh, but I have to make it in this industry and I can more enjoy it and do it for funsies. So at that, when I see it like that, I'm very happy I didn't go into it before. But I must say it is something that I didn't even know that existed. So I got into musical theater, which is not necessarily something I saw myself doing, but I've always loved dancing and singing, and I didn't want to be like an opera singer. I never saw myself as a professional dancer because I don't think I'm that good. But then again, I didn't know where I could combine those things, and there was one course in Belgium, musical theater, where you could combine those. My studies combines the art of dance, singing, and acting. And on the side, we have a lot of other very interesting courses that like combine the disciplines that help you to have a more full-rounded experience and skill set within theater. So we also have scenography, which is like stage design. And also in our second year, we're gonna learn like the technical part, like doing likely makeup production, like production management or whatever you call that. We learn to properly speak. So if, for example, you want to go into voice acting, things like that, which it's so crucial. So it really helps you with public speaking, which is actually so nice for me because I already do podcasting. I've already been training this, but now I'm like learning again, but in the Dutch language, of course. And it turns out I have a very journalistic voice.
Hallo dames en heren en welkom bij het nieuws van 7 uur. Dit is het journaal met Lynn van Hege.
I know I'm trolling just a little, but it's kind of fun, But there are so many things that I am learning, that I am loving, that I did not know that I could enjoy so much. Like I'm able to follow my passions and follow my dreams. And a lot of my life, I have been following studies or doing certain jobs with the idea that I'm going to support my dreams, my passions, with the idea that everything that I'm doing now is in the future going to supply or support my plans of following what I truly feel inside I have to do, but I always had to like attend to the practical part of it all. And now living the dream and actually being able to do what I love on every single day basis. And I'm not necessarily moving towards something anymore because for me, it was being present and experiencing on an every single day basis. It's like living it as I'm like pouring my coffee in the morning. It becomes so ingrained in my every single day habitus that I just love life. Like I live every day so fully, and it has also allowed me to be so much more present in life, to really live and to savor every moment. And let me tell you, it has not been easy. It is not easy at all because it has pushed the boundaries for me of being in my body, of facing myself, of facing the people around me, of being present in the moment, which comes with ups and downs, which comes with feeling emotions that we enjoy or feeling emotions that we enjoy less, and really taking them in and really, sitting still in the moment, being present and embracing the now. And I have been talking about this for years, and it's something that I have pushed myself to apply and to integrate in my every single day life without knowing that it was actually preparing me to really fully embody that saying and that way of being and that way of thinking and that way of yeah, it's an art. You know what art does? It allows you to feel, it allows you to give more color and more taste to life. And it allows us to slow down in a world that is telling us to move fast all the time. And now that I'm able to practice the arts on a single day basis, that is what my life has turned into, a way to savor life to the fullest. I feel so alive because the highs are highs, the lows are lows. My body is aching and it's aching bad. I'm tired and I'm moody and I don't have time for bullshit because I'm busy trying to make the most of what I got right in front of me, which is so cool. So, I want to talk about two things that also were very important for me in this year that changed a lot. With the first one being personal growth. I have grown so much as a person this year, something that I really did not, I couldn't have fathomed, I couldn't have really put into my mind before doing the work. And first of all, it's really been a shift of paradigm. My way of thinking has changed so much. I think the person I was a year ago, the way that she thought would have not have been able to live a life like this because her way of thinking was really preventing her to step freely into certain feelings or parts of herself without shame. And that's the thing. I feel like a lot of us, what is keeping us from the life we want is not necessarily things outside of us, but sometimes it's the beliefs we hold about the things we dearly wish and dream about. We think some things are bad, or sometimes it's society, it's religion. For me, it has been religion a lot. I noticed in the first 6 months, I was really diving deeper into my religious beliefs and also learning more about different religions and trying to understand better what my relationship to Christianity was, because I've really grown in that, and also trying to see what it is with spirituality and things like that. And I have really noticed that a lot of my religious beliefs we're putting shame on the freedom that is needed to be an artist and to be a full human being and to really embrace being a human and the human experience on its fullest without shame. An artist cannot feel shame. You because if you're already shaming yourself, you're already filtering and limiting your expression and your understanding of the present moment. And that blockage is not allowing you to fully transmute the feelings, the emotions that are necessary in, for example, a certain interpretation of a song or in a dance or in a certain scene. A lot of that has also come with my idea around sexuality and a relationship to myself, and also about the people in the creative industry. I've had a lot of the times this we don't understand the artists. And I feel like a lot of celebrities, a lot of artists, especially like A-list actors, for example, or very big musicians, and I've been part of that too, which I have been studying them for a long time, and they get demonized a lot of the times, and it's because they live in a certain way that if you don't have the capacity to understand the way that they are experiencing the relationship they have to themselves, to the arts, and to love, what we don't understand, we tend to demonize. And we think that it's something bad, it's something evil, just because it brings out, they're so connected to source and to a higher form, a higher power, or their highest self in the way that they are able to really fully transmute all types, be a channel for all types of expressions, which can trigger in the audience certain emotions that perhaps we block ourselves from feeling in our everyday life. When people are able to unlock certain feelings within you that you do not understand how they do that, it can really be scary sometimes, and we start to demonize them when maybe they are just fully surrendering to being a vessel to the arts. That's a whole rant, I know, right? But it's so freeing to finally comprehend that. And even though you understand it, it doesn't mean you ain't blocking yourself. So it's still a journey for me, but I can feel myself slowly but surely giving myself the freedom and letting go of the chains that I had imposed upon myself, that maybe I learned through society, but I was keeping active by the way that I was living my life. Shame is not good for anything. And I feel like we are really ruled by shame so much. But who is benefiting from that? If we really look at the structures, it's also women that get shamed the most of all people. Why is that? And who benefits from that? What I've also noticed is that, well, not noticed, it's nothing new, but I'm a very sensitive person, right? And it's been very hard to deal with my sensibilities. And even at university, I had to find a way to balance my emotions and find an outlet for everything that I was feeling, which I did through podcasting, through journaling, through, going through nature, working out. But sometimes with the work you have to do, it gets a bit overwhelming and you have to neglect certain routines because of deadlines and things like that. And now that my sole focus has been dancing, singing, acting, and doing everything surrounded with the arts of those things, it has put me in an environment where I am constantly free to express my feelings and where I can channel those energies into something productive. I can use them at all times. And yeah, it's also very refreshing to be able to channel those energies and those feelings into fictional scenarios. Sometimes we get so overwhelmed with our feelings, or we don't have the time to ground ourselves to have that release because we live in a society that hasn't built in that space for emotional expression, for the artistry within ourselves. If you're not conscious about it and if you don't take the steps to do that for yourself, society will not, it's not a default for it to promote that. And so a lot of the times we express it in ways that can be destructive, not always only to us, but also to people around us. The way that we argue with people, we can have emotional outbursts, or we go and drink a whole lot of alcohol, or we tend to drugs, or we completely self-destruct because we don't know how to handle the feelings that we are dealing with, because we don't seem to have enough of space. Our feelings seem too much maybe for the people around us, because everyone deals with their own emotions, and it's hard to handle other people's emotions when you can't handle your own. And it's sometimes hard to allow yourself to express your feelings when you feel like there's no safe space around you. And to come into such a safe space, wow, a space where all your feelings, I have cried so many times at school, and I used to be judged for that when I was younger. I've learned from a very young age that my tears were weird, that my emotions were too much, and that I had to suck it up and be tough. And this was the first year that I really thought, wow, I'm allowed to be myself, as chaotic as I can be, and my emotions have a room to be expressed. No one judges me. People actually support you. People want to be there for you. People listen to you and embrace you. And not only the students, but also the teachers. They really embrace your emotionality, because that is what makes you a great artist, which is such a big change from the previous years of my life in school and at university. It's almost like we all turn into robots and computers, and we filter ourselves to be so diplomatic and so stoic. And now there is no need for that. We're all human beings, and we can show up as human beings every single day, and that's perfectly fine. The other thing that has really helped me to grow as a person is the group environment. You don't come there, maybe you come there thinking about your personal journey, about your personal aspirations and your dreams, but very fast you will understand that this school, it's a group thing. And being a good actor, especially because our focus is on acting, um, is that you are as good as the people around you. And the trust and the connection you have with the group is very important. And it has showcased to me, this year has really revealed to me how high my walls are, how distrusting I have been, and how difficult it has been for me to let people into my life. And it has been a reflection of also me seeing that I don't often believe that people are able to embrace me, that people are able to accept me, but it's also a choice that I will have to make for myself. And it really has shown me that it is safe to let your defenses down. It shows you that we need to also you really learn to love people through your differences. I thought, wow, okay, this is a group that I don't know. We all have very different ages. Maybe I won't fit in. I'm also, I don't look like anyone in the school. So maybe I will not be understood. So sometimes you have this prejudice about people. We judge people also, and we judge ourselves. We judge how people will perceive us before we give them a chance to show up for them. And I think early on I had already decided, like, these are not my people. I'm just here for myself. But that is not something that you're able to do. And what I've also noticed is that within this environment, everybody is so emotionally mature. It's insane. People are very ahead of their age, ahead of their time. It requires a certain set of connection with yourself, of introspection, of vulnerability. So I was very pleasantly surprised. And it also showed me that I perhaps have prejudice about society and about certain people, also based upon how they look. And I will sometimes outcast myself beforehand to already prevent rejection, when actually I'm the one rejecting myself, because people wouldn't have rejected me, but I believe that I will be rejected. So, you know the deal, what I mean? So that has also been very revealing. And it has showed me that you really have to not have too much prejudice about people. You don't know people until you get to know them. And it's really a two-way street. You really have to be open and vulnerable and give people a chance, allow people to get in, and you might be surprised, really. I'm trying to speed a little bit through this video because I can see it's already long. But the last thing I wanted to talk about, the second thing that I've really seen grow within myself over the past year in this school, is my relationship to my body. I love my body so much. I'm so grateful for this body. It's so insane what it's able to do. I want to thank sleep. I want to thank my physician. I want to thank food, which, I think everything is so connected. Since I've been doing this school, like, especially singing, dancing, acting, it's all the same. It's all connected to your body. Your body is your instrument. So everything happens from within. Everything happens from the food you eat, how well you sleep, how good your mental health is, how you talk to yourself, the people you have around, the boundaries you have, all very important. Drink enough water because it will influence every single aspect of your performance, actually. I noticed that a lot of my spiritual practices also came back into the arts because it is really about getting to know yourself. I did not expect this process to be so psychological and spiritual, and teachers to really, like, teachers and judges to see me better than my therapist has. Very confrontational. It's almost like everybody has a sixth sense. And the thing is, even in the arts, everybody is different. Every person has different needs. So it's really up to you to understand your body, to get to know thyself, to know what you need, put on your own boundaries, to know when you're not sleeping enough, when you're not drinking enough, because everything you do and everything you don't do will have an influence on your performance. So it really forces you to be very aware of how you live your life on an every single day basis. What you put in your body, it's kind of the healthiest I've felt in a long time, but I don't think I'm very aware because I'm so busy that I'm constantly tired. I think that is what I've been saying the most this year. I'm good, but I'm always tired. Like, this year has been exhausting. Like, I'm happy, but I'm tired. Like, I'm just like, sleep, okay, wake up, let's go, all day. And then you have to think about the next day, but you don't have time because you have to sleep, but you also have to prepare things for the next day. But yeah, there's not enough hours in a day. So, you have to learn to really listen to your body and also not overextend yourself, because there's no use in going too far, because it might actually worsen the results you want long term. I've also felt like my body is really more in tune with my emotions, because my emotions and my body is constantly busy physically, and my energy is so high, and I am constantly physically in movement, but also emotionally. There is no way for me to hide or stop my emotions. They will come through whenever they have to come true. I can have an outburst. My body cannot lie to me. I think I've become more sensitive as well, which probably is a reflection of me softening up and accepting more of my vulnerability and letting my walls down, which is a beautiful thing, because I've always known that I'm a very vulnerable girl, but I've seen in the past years that my defenses have gone up tremendously because of life, life. And that will happen when you try to be open up, or be vulnerable in unsafe spaces, it will have you tighten up your defenses a lot more. And every part of you matters also is something that I've noticed. Every emotion, all the good, the bad, all the spectrum of emotions, everything matters and is equally as important because they help you forward. And they're equally as important in the arts, in acting, in singing, in dancing. You can use them for everything. So there's less shame around being a human, being yourself, trying to be something that you're not, trying to put on a mask. I think I've said this quote to someone that pursuing the performing arts has allowed me to perform less in my daily life. If you're able to perform as a job, you don't have to perform in your actual life. I feel like I have been more real than ever before. Isn't that paradoxical? Isn't that an interesting way of putting it? It's like you have to become more aware because you use the real you for storytelling, and you can embody different characters. Yeah. And it is it's just wonderful. I have also really food is just on another level amazing. I think I eat like my brothers now, but I just can't seem to gain any weight because I burn so many calories. And you just, I feel fit, which is very nice, but there's always more work to do, so you're not constantly focused on it too much. It's also not your primary goal. Your primary goal is to feel good, to feel confident, to feel strong, and that will help you get results. And it's not about looking a certain way, or which takes off a lot of pressure and really brings in consistency because you're trying to be the best performer you possibly can be. And lastly, it's also very nice to be in an environment where you feel seen and where you feel supported, and where like-minded and equally talented people are able to clap for you and really want you to fully expand yourself and be the best version of yourself, and to find your confidence, and that will say you that you're freaking good if they truly believe it. And you will enter in a small world where you need each other to make things happen. And if you truly are about the passion of the goal, you want each other to succeed because you can help each other out. And it's so inspiring. I just lit up talking about it. I just really wanted to share this before I continue any other uploads, because it's been such an important part of my journey the last months, and it's changed me so much that I can just not ignore this and pretend, go back to my old videos, or just assume the way I was making content, because it has been such an impactful journey, and it's only the first year. I'm so excited for the years to come, and I'm really excited to grow and to share this also, and to see where this goes. Thank you so much if you came all the way to the end of this video. I really appreciate you being here. I really hope you enjoyed the story. If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel for more, because I really want to drop more. I really want to be back. Anyways, I hope you're doing good. I hope you're not dying in the heat. Take very good care of yourselves, and I'll see you around. Thank you so much for being here. Much love. Bye.